All right, y'all, we got a good one today. This is coming straight from Point of View. So make sure y'all go follow them. They posted this on their channel. And we finna check it out. This is Tulsi Gabbard. I'm risking everything to share this with you. Now, for those who don't know who Tulsi Gabbard is, she was a former Democrat. And, said she was tired of being sick and tired, like myself, you know what I'm saying, and decided to cross the side, y'all. So we are about to get informative content today. So if you are on this journey and you're learning everything like I am and just getting knowledge and, just feeding your soul, that is what my channel is really here for, to do. Now, I want to address this because I seen in my comment section when I posted the Ellen content, and someone did state, like, they were pretty much saying, like, okay, why would you stop watching a show just because it's, leftist or whatnot? My response to that was, well, since I've been on this journey and I've been on this path, the things that I was once brainwashed about and stuff, it doesn't line up. I don't support, the mess that I was supporting as a former Democrat myself. You know what I'm saying? It didn't line up with me. So why would I support someone who could possibly be on a Diddy list? You know what I'm saying? And support those type of things that they are doing. No, I don't support that. I don't. I'm sorry, I don't. So no, I can't sit here, support and watch when I know these things now. When I was sleeping, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I told a lot of y'all, I used to watch your show all the time. So it's just now when you start to learn things and you start to actually feed your soul and research and do all this other type of stuff, some stuff that you once supported or didn't even support, you was just blind to, you no longer want to affiliate yourself with any of that mess. So no, I can't. I'm sorry. But with that being said, y'all, that's just that's a whole nother reaction. We're about to dive in and just get her part of what she was going through and what made her decide to say, hey, you know what? This don't feel right. I don't like this. Let's see what changed her. Y'all, let's dive into it.
Immediately got a call from the White House, basically, in essence, saying, how dare you go against your president? How dare you go against your party? And that was the first of what would become many of those kinds of decisions where the Democrat elite realized, like, okay, she's not going to be one of the people who just, go along to get along, climb the political ladder to try to advance her political position.
What happens when a rising star refuses to conform to the party line? Tulsi Gabbard shares her eye-opening journey through the ranks of Washington, where loyalty to principles often clashes with the demands of political power. From her surprising rise in the Democratic Party to her fierce independence on issues like foreign policy, Gabbard recounts the moments that marked her as a disruptor among the political elite. Through her presidential campaign, Gabbard experienced firsthand the rigged systems of media, big tech, and politics working in concert to suppress dissenting voices. But her story is more than a critique. It's a call for Americans to demand transparency, fairness, and accountability in the democratic process. Watch as Tulsi Gabbard takes us behind the curtain of modern politics, challenging the system and inspiring a new generation to think critically about who truly holds power in America.
I've always been a very independent-minded person. When I was first elected to Congress in 2012, I was surprised by what a huge welcome I got from not only leaders in the Democratic Party in Washington, but, a lot of big figures in the mainstream media and so forth. I didn't have any party support or backing or anything at all as I ran what was a very tough race for Congress. And so, to be invited a week or two after I was elected to go and speak at the National Democratic Convention during prime time was unexpected. Great opportunity. But while I was there at the convention, I was surprised because there were people, oh, Tulsi Gabbard, she's the rising star of the Democratic Party and all of this stuff. In hindsight, looking back, it was like, okay, well, I checked a lot of the, kind of the identity politics boxes.
You think it was about diversity?
Yes. And I think that they thought that, and it continued, I was invited to the White House Correspondents' Dinner, I think the first year I was there. And I remember walking out of votes one day, and one of my Republican colleagues who'd been in Congress for at least 5 or 6 years before me, he's like, Tulsi, like, what's going on? He's like, I've been here much longer than you, and I've never been invited to that. And I I don't know what this. Okay, I don't know. I was like, you go. You can go if you want. But I think that they thought that I was going to be someone who was drawn into kind of the red carpet that they laid out before me, and would allow myself to be a puppet, or allow myself to just be someone who will follow the talking points and kind of cheer the rah-rah lines that everybody uses. But very quickly found, even within the first 6 months of my being in Congress back in 2013, that was not the case. The first turning point, and I get into this in my book, For Love of Country, how when President Obama announced in the summer of 2013 that he was going to come to Congress and ask for authorization to go and launch an attack in Syria, in what would become kind of the first big volley of a regime change war there, I was, after doing my analysis and doing my due diligence, I was the first Democrat to come out very strongly in opposition to President Obama's proposal, and gave very well thought out reasons why, both based on my experience as someone who had been deployed to the Middle East twice in the military, but also I served on the Foreign Affairs Committee at the time, and I, did my research, went through all of the briefings, and really actually sincerely listened to the case that they were making, and concluded that this was not, that this would lead to yet another quagmire in the Middle East, with no clear objective and no case for why this was in the best interest of the American people. Immediately got a call from the White House, basically in essence saying, how dare you go against your president? How dare you go against your party? And that was the first of what would become many of those kinds of decisions where the Democrat elite realized, like, okay, she's not going to be one of the people who just,
because she's speaking up and giving y'all like some pointers as to say, hey, this may not, doesn't really make sense. Like, why are we doing this? Because it's okay. So y'all see what they were doing. They were trying to bring her in, inviting her to all these things and letting her speak here and letting her do this, like she said, to become a puppet, because that's what they be doing. But when she finally steps up and say, hey, whoa, this don't feel right. You know what I'm saying? Being that I've been here and been there, you know what I'm saying? This just don't feel right. And now it's, how dare you? Let's get it. Come on.
Go along to get along, climb the political ladder to try to advance her political position. And so, going down the path there of my run for president in 2020, I was making the case to the American people in two main ways. Number one is that the Democratic Party needs to go back to being the party of JFK, needs to go back to being the party that really sought to bring Martin Luther King's dream to life. Being the party of the little guy, the party that celebrated free speech. And what I saw through that experience, and what I personally experienced, was that the Democrat elite had no interest in any of that, and were directly hostile to that kind of change that I sought to bring about, which increasingly over time, a recent Gallup poll showed 43% of Americans are not affiliated with either party. They want control and they want power. That is what drives them, and that's what motivates them, even at the cost of undermining the Constitution and taking away basic fundamental freedoms like freedom of speech and freedom of expression. They want to be able to control who has a voice and who doesn't.
Ooh,
and they have increasingly escalated their the tools that they are using in order to meet that end. There was a bit of naivete when I made my decision to run for president. I figured, like, hey, look, I know this is a long shot. I am the definition of an underdog in this race. There's no way I'll be able to raise the amount of money that a Joe Biden or a Kamala Harris would be able to raise. But I thought, at least in this democratic republic, at a minimum, I will have just as fair a shot as anyone on that debate stage to make my case to the American people and allow them to do what we do, what we're supposed to do in this country. They will get to make the decision. That's it. That I discovered that to be a false assumption the day I announced my candidacy. The very day I announced my candidacy, as I was walking up on the stage to make that announcement in Hawaii, NBCnews.com put out a smear piece on me, started planting the seeds of suspicion and doubt, like, oh, there's something weird going on with Tulsi Gabbard. The Russians are really interested in her. And this, of course, became something that was a common refrain, not only for me, with Hillary Clinton and many others calling me essentially a traitor.
I'm sorry, y'all, but that ticks me out, because y'all see what they do when you don't hop in line or get on board. They go to telling lies and smear you and try to make these people, they tarnish your name, they tarnish who you are, and try to make these people believe that you this like, that's what they do when you don't hop on board with them. Like, who wants to be a part of that? Really? I'm so glad that it didn't take her long to be like, you know what? That's it.
To my country, a Russian asset. But it's something, it is a tried and true playbook that they continue to turn to. Obviously, they did it with Donald Trump in 2016. They do it with Tucker Carlson. They do it with Bobby Kennedy. They do it with anyone who they deem as a political threat. And so what I saw throughout that experience on the debate stage, for example, it happened the first debate and in every debate after that. On average, in a 2-hour-long debate, I got about 6 minutes of speaking time. And it didn't matter that after that first debate, I was the most searched candidate of the night, which is what I had hoped for. The same happened again with the second debate. Nothing changed. It just got worse ultimately. So not only limiting the exposure of different Democratic candidates to voters through limited time on the debate stage, but actually working in a concerted way with big tech and the big mainstream propaganda media to control what information voters saw about the candidates that were running in that election, really revealing in real time. You talk about a rigged system. This is what a rigged system looks like. You can say, well, voters are the ones who make this decision. But you've got to understand the context with which they're making that decision. If the information that they're getting when they type in who is Tulsi Gabbard and Google decides to push certain information that is less than flattering at best, but complete false accusations and smears, which is what they did, then, they're tilting the scales. When you have CNN, for example, every candidate running for president at that time got at least one televised town hall on CNN. Most had multiple. I had one. And I didn't find out until a friend of mine called me and they said, CNN has a digital library where you can go and rewatch these town halls of the different presidential candidates. Why isn't yours on there?
If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest content.
Never miss out, y'all. Never miss out. So, y'all, and that's just a snippet. That's very informative, huh? Very detailed. She got to go in and see what was going on. I am so glad that you didn't get suckered into that mess, that you decided and you honestly thought with your heart and your soul that you have, like, this ain't it. This is not right. And as you can see on the pictures that they showed of her and Trump smiling, you're glowing. I'm so glad that you made that decision, because a lot of people don't. They hop onto that, that power and that control. And if you look at it now, they all look miserable and just really tired out and old. Cause that's gotta come with a lot of stress. Someone constantly telling you how to speak, what to do. You seeing all this mess go on and it's not right. It's gotta be eating at your soul. The only soul you got left. I'm so glad that you decided to say, hey, this ain't for me. This here right here, I don't know what y'all got going on, but I don't want this. Y'all, make sure y'all go ahead and check out Point of View if you want more informative, detailed information. I'm putting them on the map, y'all. Go like, comment, subscribe. Yeah. What are y'all thoughts? What are y'all thoughts about her now, huh? Hopping on board. What are y'all thoughts about, actually watching this? Like, that's crazy that if you don't do, they do that. They create lies. And then the crazy part is, because they were in that position that they're in, they can do that. No wonder they having meltdowns and this chaos and all this other type of stuff going on, because they are losing control, and they're no longer having the power and the control over the people anymore. It's been taken, so they don't know how to act. They don't know how to act. Hell, some of them can't breathe right now. It's crazy, man. It's a crazy world, y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, kicking it with your girl. Until the next reaction, y'all be safe out there. All right? I'm out.